Welcome friends. Today I want to show how to do a really fun and simple ornament using napkins. Before I begin, in case you missed our last ornaments, our retro ornaments, you can click in the upper right hand corner now or wait to the end of the video and click on this picture. I've taped a paintbrush on the bottom of this ornament and I have a piece of styrofoam cut out so I can stick it in here so it will set up to dry. Before adding the napkins, I want to paint it. Prior to painting it, I need to prepare the surface of the glass or plastic by using sandpaper to rough up the surface, or I can use a primer, such as a clear primer that's made for glass. Check out our materials below, and I'll have some choices down there. Make sure to really rough up the surface. The paint will have a hard time adhering to the ornament without this step. Next up, we're going to use white chalk paint. I'm going to use a dabber sponge brush and lightly dab it all over. When I'm doing this, I'll go around and make sure that I have everything covered, and then I'll place out to the side and let it dry. The napkin I have is 3-ply, which means there's 3 pieces. I need to pull the 2 white pieces off the back, so I just have one thin layer. Otherwise, it can wrinkle and make it hard to decoupage onto the ornament. And then I lay it out flat. I'm looking for a napkin that has some isolated foliage or designs. The berries work really well because I can tear some of them in half and add on once I add them onto the ornament. So I'll just outline this with water and a thin brush and tear them off. And I want to save quite a few more than I think I need. I'll isolate this one right here so I can add it on later. Isolate this. I'll break this in half and place one down below it just in case I want to add the whole thing. And then we'll also do some longer ones too. I like to tear it so that way you don't see cut edges. To add the napkins, I'm using DecoArt Matte Varnish by DecoArt. I could use a gloss finish as well, and I like to use a small brush for this so that way I have more control over how I add it. I want the stems to come from the top, so I will start to add a little bit of the varnish right here. Making sure I got a nice coat, and I'll just do a little section at a time, and I'll place this on up here, and I'm going to be very careful adding glue on top, and I'm going to start from the middle and gradually work outwards. When the napkin gets wet, it starts to expand, and that's what I'm working with. That's why I want to move slowly so it has a chance to expand, and I'll get less wrinkles this way. Well, I could use Mod Podge in place of the varnish. I like the varnish because it's more clear and I can see what I'm doing. Plus, it wrinkles less because it's a lighter thickness. Therefore, it's easier to manage. First, I add the varnish to the ornament. Then I lightly place the napkin on top. Add a little bit of glue in the middle. Let the napkin expand while it's wet. Gradually work from the center outward, going slowly so that way the napkin can expand. And then I go over it several times with the varnish with a small brush. With a large brush, I can easily wrinkle up the material. I'm showing the first 2 pieces in real time so I can show the full process and how long it takes to varnish each piece of napkin down. After applying this piece, I'll focus more on the placement of the napkins versus how long it takes to varnish each piece. See if we can kind of go in between there a little bit. I can add on to right here and just keep piecing the smaller pieces in. So it looks like, well, my berries got lost there, so I'll go ahead and add this in there. Maybe I can do one of these here. That works very well. Let's move this over a little bit. And I'm missing a couple of berries right there. As I am finishing up decoupaging on the napkins, I'm ready to set this out to dry. The last step after it dries is to cover it at least one more time with the varnish. Here's the final ornament. Happy holidays, my dear friends, and we hope to see you soon. If you haven't seen our retro ornaments, stay tuned. That's coming up next.